Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 24.
Hey, before we get into that, I want to tell y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. We got a lot of comments on our clips for this show, and I enjoy all of them. Now, Blair, before we get into the show, I got to ask my question. Can I ask my question?
Yes.
Can I ask my question, I said?
Yes.
I have two questions. Question number one. Does Tiffany think she's better than KeKe? That's question number one. Think about it. Write a little comment. Mm-hmm. Right? Question number two. What did y'all really think about Mel's ceremony? Think about it. Write a comment. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Walk us through it.
We start with Nell and Fletcher. They're out on a date dancing.
Okay.
They sit down, have a conversation. Nell tells Chris about Martel coming by the house.
Yeah.
And him talking about picking a side.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to pick a side. Martel upset now. He started to raise his voice. Chris wants to get clarity on what Martel was upset about. For him to raise his voice at his house to his wife. Mm-hmm. Nell wants Martel to take accountability. They talk about the name change ceremony and not knowing what to expect. Mm-hmm. Maybe she'll marry herself, but it's always over the top with Mel.
Now, question.
Yeah.
Do you think Martel was disrespectful when he was talking to Nell at the house?
No, not really.
Me neither.
I just felt like he was passionate. I didn't think he was like disrespectful to her.
I'm saying if we're friends, and if I'm viewed equally as friends, you get what I'm saying? Your wife / my friend yelling at me, yeah. I'm yelling at her. You get what I'm saying? But I didn't view her yelling at him or even he yelling at her in a way that was disrespectful. It was just two friends passionately yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Now, here's my thing about the word friend, though. I do feel like eventually Chris and Nell will choose a side. Yeah. If they haven't already. Especially if you're telling me to choose a side.
Right.
Like, and the person who's telling me to choose a side, most of the time, it's not going to be your side.
Exactly.
So you keep telling me to choose a side because, number one, you know you're wrong, Martel. You get what I'm saying? And all of this is happening because of your lack of faithfulness to your marriage. All of this, there wouldn't be no sides to be chosen if you would have did your job.
It's like Martel can't understand it. It's like he can't wrap his head around it.
It's almost as if this is independent of him.
Right.
It's like, look what she's doing to me. No.
And y'all need to support me.
No. Here's the thing. Remember, the chicken came before the egg. Okay? If you didn't push the first domino, this domino wouldn't even been stood up to be ready to fall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you would have stayed with your family and stayed faithful to Mel and things like that, mind you, 5 years in infidelity. Remember, she didn't leave you because you did it once.
Right.
She didn't leave you because you did it twice. She didn't leave you because you did it thrice. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was a continuous disrespectful thing to the relationship, to the marriage, and to the family.
To the point you had a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't forget. It's not only disrespectful to Mel, it's disrespectful to the family. Right. So now we can't really look. Trust me, we about to get to it once we get the Mel scene. We can't really look at it too bad because it's like, yo, if you would have did your point, if you would have did your job, this other thing wouldn't have been happening. Right. You know. Come on, let's move on.
Stormy and Tiffany meet up.
Yeah.
Tiffany's shopping for some thank you gifts for like a sip and see for the baby. Stormy rehashes the cookout situation, and she brings up how Tiffany stays throwing shade and talked about the interview of Carlos. Yeah. Tiffany says KeKe is always in some mess, and throwing your drink in your cousin's face is not something that Tiffany associates with.
Facts.
Stormy says you be dragging it, and you implied you were better than her. Stormy, she said she was hurt by how shady Tiffany was in the interview, and she didn't know Tiffany could be shady like that. I don't know why, because Tiffany stayed doing stuff and saying little slick stuff.
She stayed cool, boy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Stormy feels like for y'all to move forward, y'all can't throw digs, and your digs have been a lot worse. Tiffany asked if Stormy is stirring the pot, and Stormy's like, hold up, don't do that. Listen out.
Don't listen here. I almost I almost threw a drink in your face.
Exactly. She's like, let's sit down because I'm actually really trying to talk to you.
Okay.
You try to get something started.
Mm-hmm.
So Stormi brings up the move and is saying, did you talk about them moving to a different school district?
Mm-hmm,
and Tiffany's like, no, I haven't said anything about that. Stormi said, I heard you talked about my products. She was like, I'm literally running out of the products and I used them in my child's hair.
The child got hair already? That's quick.
Or maybe her older child. I don't know. She said some name. I didn't really pay attention to that.
Okay, well, thank you.
But, yeah, Stormi said Tiffany should let it go, and she's trying to communicate with her about how Tiffany and Kiki's relationship could be better if they actually sat down and talked to each other. Mm-hmm. She's like, I think y'all are more alike than you think. Like, y'all could really be the best of friends.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that much alike. Anyway, Tiffany asked Stormi to be the mediator when she and KeKe do eventually have their sit down.
Now, what did you think about that scene, Blair?
I thought it was fine. I felt like Stormi, she did need to address some things with Tiffany. Mm-hmm. So I felt like it was good that she did. And if Stormi is trying to say her and Tiffany are friends, like, it's okay to hold your friends accountable. You did that interview and you came off bad. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to talk to you about it. Now, I do feel like KeKe was probably lying on Tiffany a little bit.
Okay.
Do I think Tiffany be saying stuff? Yes, but I think if she said it, she would admit to saying it. I don't think she would be like, oh, I didn't say anything about your products. No, I feel like if there was something wrong with it, she would tell Stormi, this is how I felt about it. So, what do you think about it?
It leads me back to my question that I start off with. Does Tiffany think she is better than KeKe? Yes, is my answer.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
I say yes from a... Listen, this could go two ways, guys. I straight could go deep into it, or I could just stay surface level. So let me stay surface level. I'm better than you because of how you act. You act ghetto. Because something that's simple, you have to read between the lines. Because Tiffany's double spacing with her speeching.
Yeah.
She says, someone who, like, she threw a drink in her cousin's face. I don't want to be associated with someone like that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That ghetto type of...
She's like, she's always messy. She's always in some mess.
Come on now. Come on. I'm reading what you're putting down, Tiffany. Right? It's this type of attitude, this type of ratchetness, this type of this type of attitude usually seen from people from poverty areas.
Okay.
The ghetto, right? And I think Tiffany do think she's better than KeKe. So she words it in a group form. That's why in the interview with Carlos, she said, "Aren't we better than this?"
Yeah.
She basically saying, "I'm better than this."
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Now KeKe, I have to put some blame on KeKe as you did. I don't think KeKe, as I said last episode, or I think it was the episode before that, I think one of the diagnoses that KeKe is. One of them is she's a liar. And it's been proven that she's a liar on the show. So, I don't know why Stormi, especially with the lack of relationship that she has with KeKe, would take KeKe at her word verbatim.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I do like the fact that Stormi did take the word and then she went to the source.
Yeah.
She went to Tiffany to actually like see like what did you say?
And not just be mad.
Exactly. I did see the interview. You was coming off kind of elitist, kind of bratty. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But I do not see, to your point, Blair, how they are alike. Yeah. No. They are not alike in any way. KeKe, one more time. I'm gonna tell you, we want to know what happened with you. You done spun this story around, and now we about to have a sit down with KeKe and Tiffany. We are getting further and further and further away from glory.
Right.
You know, from God. Every day we stray further and further away from God. We want to know want to know what happened with the Crime Stopper. You get what I'm saying? I don't care about your relationship with Tisha. I don't care about what what you think about their relationship with Stormi and Tiffany. I don't care about what you think about Tiffany. Tell us what happened.
Yeah.
Please. Anything else on that scene, Blair?
Nope.
Well, come on, walk us through the next scene.
All right. So we are at Mel's name change party.
The scene of the night, guys.
Yes. So she's getting her makeup done. Her mom comes in to chat with her a little bit and lets her know everyone's outside. We've got all the musicians and everything. musicians. Yeah.
It was musicians. No, listen. It was like a mini orchestra outside.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
I thought I said something wrong. I thought I said magicians. She had no magicians there.
No. Okay. Yeah, she probably did.
She might as well. I mean, shoot. Maybe they didn't show them. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so everyone's ready and outside. And she comes out. She's walking up. And it actually is like a wedding.
Not actually, it is.
Right, it is a wedding.
Yes.
So she's got a pastor there at the end of the aisle. Nell says a vow to herself, and she says, where she is receiving back her God-given name, which was birthed to her, she'll hold on to this name until God sees fit. Then her mom, Miss Van, shares a speech touching on family legacy and being proud of Mel.
Yeah.
Then Mel reads the court letter that she received that her name was officially changed.
Hey, I'm a big fan of Mel. I don't want nobody to get it confused that I'm Team Martell and things like that. I feel like Martell is the reason for all of this. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They was a beautiful family. Beautiful husband, beautiful wife, beautiful kids, and things like that. But come on, guys. Even y'all have to admit, this was a bit much. A wedding for your name change party? It was... I was watching it, and I was like, Mel. I understood a party. Maybe, you got to have food.
Right.
If you want to have a live band, have a live band. Have at it.
But we had a ceremony.
But a ceremony... to where you walk down by yourself, everybody was seated down or sit it down as a ceremony, as a wedding ceremony. I saw people there crying. I saw people lifting their hands up praying. A pastor was there. That's when, if I was a guest and I saw a pastor put up, I would have been like, what's about to happen? Okay. Basically, I feel like this was just a little too much. Just a little too much. Yeah. But what can I say? You get what I'm saying? Like she wouldn't be in this position. She didn't put herself in this position.
And she went through the ringer with this man.
Exactly.
So it's just like, if this is how she closes the book and moves on, who am I to judge?
Listen, this is how me and Blair would have been at the ceremony. At the party, we would have been like, well, I guess this is what happens.
Exactly.
when you are the cause of the divorce, and not only are you making... See, I think if he would have made it an easy divorce, if he just would have been like, you know what, yeah, I did mess up, and I'm sorry, and he didn't try to take the kids.
Or even throw his name in her face talking about...
Just a nice person to her, I think she wouldn't have gone this hard to get the name. She might
have even kept the name to have the same name as her kid.
Maybe.
Who knows?
But she's like, you know what, kids? Y'all on your own with your daddy. Okay? You got your daddy last name. Y'all can have that. I can't change that for him. But for me, I am going to do everything I can in that in my power to basically I'm going to do everything in my power to regain basically my self-esteem and basically my right to move about. So
yeah,
I can't really judge it. But I will say it was a lot to watch. What do y'all think about that ceremony that Mel had, this wedding ceremony too, where she wedded her name again? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have any more thoughts on that scene, Blair?
Yeah, I mean, I did think it was over the top. Mm-hmm. But like we said, she went through the ringer with this man. Yeah. And she also went through the ringer trying to get her name changed and dealing with the courts and
100%
having to, because who wants to be a court? Who wants to be writing petition? Who wants to be talking to a judge? And he had her in court with the kid custody situation. So she's probably courted out. Mm-hmm. But she still was fighting for this name change. So if this is what makes her feel good, it feels like she can move forward. Cool. Did I think it was extra? Yeah. Yes. But I mean,
Mel is extra.
Yeah, Mel's extra, and she's not a boring lady. So this is all brand. And I would have been there clapping, crying, smiling too. And,
you would have been crying.
Yeah, I would have been crying because she's been through a lot. I would have been crying for her.
Why are you crying?
Because finally she made it to this day, and then I would have got some chicken wings in the bag.
Okay,
so
that's why it was a lot. Because if you sit there crying at the ceremony, I would have been there staring confused.
Okay.
But no, like Mel is a lot, but it's so funny because Martel is a lot too. It's so funny. You could kind of see how their personality, even when they're separate, you could kind of see how their personalities would mesh together. Because they've been married for so long, they've been together for so long, so there's definitely some things that they probably rub off on each other that's just probably part of their makeup.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Martell's a lot when he came in that season with the little chihuahua fur over his chest and things like that, with the jacket and things like that.
Exactly, with his chesticles out.
Exactly. And Mel is a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just think, if you just would have stayed faithful, y'all would have been in abundance together.
Yeah,
a lot together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Continue, Blair. If there's anything else you want to share, please let us know in the comments. Tell me your real thoughts, what y'all thought about that scene, okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Blair.
All right. Nell pulls Mel to the side at the ceremony. Mel talks about how long the process took with her changing her name, and it's the last piece of the puzzle, getting rid of that name.
Yeah.
She brings, Nell brings up the conversation she had with Martel about he was upset about Mel, basically, he gave Mel the whole name, and it's like a slap in his face that she's doing all this. Mel says, how does this all go back to him? Like, this is for me and my legacy and me moving on. This has nothing to do with him. Mel says she was given a name before she met him, and he's controlling and narcissistic. Mel says that he's lying about the infidelity. Nell brings that up. And look, he's not here. His spirit is not here. She says she's worried about her future and tells Nell to come on, eat, and celebrate with me.
Listen, Nell, you are out of pocket. Not Mel, Nell.
Yeah.
You are way out of pocket.
That was so unnecessary.
How are you going to take her away from her wedding reception, right, to herself, right, to talk about the guy that she divorcing everything from? She's talking about divorcing him from the marriage, divorcing from the friendship, because they talked about, hey, you know, I saw him when you ain't speak to him, you know, divorcing him from the name. And you over there talking about, you know, I talked to your ex-husband.
Like, why would you bring him up at a time like this? Like, and honestly, I feel like for the show, even though Nell pulled Mel to the side, I'm sure they had to have like a little scene together. It didn't have to be about Martel. I feel like Nell could have talked to Mel and asked her, like, really what Mel was trying to talk about. How is this important to you? Like, what do you plan on doing in the future with this name? Like, you know, just really try to get into Mel's head and where she was at, which Mel, I felt like, was trying to stay on that note. So
look,
because she don't care what Martel think. I mean, come on now, none of us do.
My whole thing is now. I listen. You carried out what Martel basically wants it to be all the time. You carried out his plan,
right?
And we know what Martel wants all the time. He wants things to be about him
and to disrupt her happiness.
So even without Martel being there, he was there, and that's one thing Melody didn't want.
Yeah,
Melody didn't want the spirit of Martel to be there, the cloud of Martel to be there. Not even his name is on the program. That's the whole point of this whole ceremony, is that his name. I am not a halt.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Everything that I achieved, I am divorcing myself from that. And now I'm back to where I started as a Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
Rodger That. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like Nell was out of place as a friend in that moment. Especially, you saw actually things that other people didn't see because you were subpoenaed to go to court. So I don't even understand, like, you kind of seen the storms behind the scenes. So why are you like playing oblivious to some of the, you know what I mean? I feel like Nell, you was out of pocket right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At that time, as friends, as girlfriends and things like that, that is a conversation you have after the fact, not the day of the ceremony, if you have it at all.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Continue.
Yeah, well, they're sitting down eating.
Yeah.
And one of her friends gives a toast, and she is happy that Mel isn't celebrating that it's over, but that it happened, and that how she has a legacy with her children.
Yeah.
So.
Listen here. Y'all gonna make lemonade out of lemons. That was a lot. I thought when I said party, I thought it was gonna be just dancing, big tent, big decorations, live band, great food. No, this was a wedding ceremony to herself.
Yeah.
She wrote vows to herself, and she celebrated herself with her friends, and you can't really have nothing bad to say about that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Stormi meets with Kyle. He is Canvas Beauty's COO that she hired about a year ago. Stormi wants to do a party for Canvas because this is their 5th year in business. Kyle said that when he came on, it was a lot, and she almost lost it all. Yeah. Not even just the company, but the house as well.
Yeah.
Canvas has come such a long way. Stormi said that the issue was that it grew too fast, and then she was pregnant with her child. It was on bed rest. Yeah. Her signature was being forged. It was a lot of funny business going on when she wasn't, 100% healthy.
Yeah.
She felt like leaving the business at one point, but Kyle said, let's fix these holes. Don't run. Kyle says, well, first he talks about, you wanted this to be a family business, but look, like, there's no more snakes, no more blinders. Like, we're doing this thing the right way.
Yeah, that was a good scene. What is that type of pregnancy to where, like, I should have asked you this before, but I guess I asked you on camera. What type of pregnancy is to where, like, when the woman needs help, so, like, she gets, like, needles.
Oh, IVF.
IVF. This kind of explains a lot. Just to give a little backstory, that's how Stormi ended up having her kid.
Oh, she had it through IVF?
Yes,
I didn't realize
right.
that.
Yeah,
okay.
so she has her own page on YouTube and things like that, to where she showed the process of going through that with Courtney. So I can only imagine, like, you going through the trials of that, right? And then something that's supposed to be good becomes a burden. Oh, my business exploded.
Yeah.
And you're on bed rest.
Yeah.
And now I'm not the thing that I want. I'm not at the helm to run it.
And I can't be stressed about it because I can't lose this baby that I worked so hard to.
So like
get.
It kind of shows like the other side of success to where you can get everything that you want at one time.
Yeah.
And it can actually be a storm for you, not playing on the name Stormi.
Yeah.
But it's good to see a black woman specifically come out of that successful, to come out on top. And I agree with the white man. I'm not going to agree with them a lot, but I'm going to agree with him. I'm going to agree with Kyle today. No more blinders.
Right.
No more hiring your bad cousins.
Exactly.
Because they don't have the same passion. They don't have the same passion as you. They don't have the same skin in the game, the same sacrifice.
They don't say they have the...
Take your time. Take your time.
They don't have the same morals and ethics.
No.
And like you said, even care about the business. They're going to find a way to funnel something back to them. Because that's all they care about.
And Kyle said something that was... a white man Kyle said... He said, we have a job to make sure that we uphold things lawfully and hold things morally,
right,
through ethics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's very good to see Stormi come out on top, and we wish her the best success. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Anything else on that scene, Blair?
I like seeing Stormi's vulnerability. I feel like sometimes Stormi can come across very hard. I feel like this season she showed softer sides, like being empathetic towards Tiffany, even empathy towards KeKe, which I kind of feel like, okay. But KeKe be doing a lot.
Okay, stop it. KeKe deserves some empathy.
Yeah, she does deserve some empathy.
As we deserve to know what happened.
Exactly.
at Costco.
Right.
Go ahead.
But it was nice to see her open up about her business in her home, because some people can't act like I did this all myself. I'm a boss. Which, okay, can be true on one hand, but on the other hand, like, the reality of the situation is you needed some help.
Yeah.
And you were maybe too trusting of some loved ones. And you were able to work with somebody to get everything on track and look at where you are today.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a really good scene for Stormi for seeing her character.
100%. Especially since I think she said at one point she lost everything. She had to start over.
Yeah.
So to see her where she is right now, Amazing story. Walk us through the next scene, Blair.
Yep. Next, we are at Nell and Chris's house. Uh-oh. They are having dinner with their kids and with Nell's niece. Well, I guess Nell and Chris's niece, since they married.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they tell us the breakdown of the family, that they both had a child coming into the marriage, and then they had 2 children together. Nell doesn't call it a blended family because when they got together, both of their kids were like 1 year old.
Yeah.
So she was like, we've been parents to all these kids.
Yeah.
KeKe is Nell's niece, and apparently she had to fire KeKe.
It's always that name KeKe, ain't it?
Nell asked her, since I fired you, are you working? And she says she got a new job. She got fired again, but she found another job.
Okay.
The issue was that she didn't have proper child care. She didn't want to tell Nell at first because she wanted to get the situation worked out, and she didn't want to hear Nell's mouth.
Okay.
She told Chris first because he's cool. He's the cool uncle.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. Nell helps her, so she thought KeKe should have told her first. And I would agree. If I'm over here paying your bills and checking on you and all this type of stuff, let me know what's going on. Okay?
You ain't the cool auntie, Blair.
Okay.
Chris is the cool uncle, okay? Go ahead.
KeKe said it's because of how you react to stuff. Chris thinks that they come to him because he'll listen fully to how they feel and what's going on before he responds. Nell has a habit of kind of like jumping to conclusions before people could get the whole story out.
Yeah.
Nell says, every one of y'all have your own issues, and I'm here for all of y'all. They say y'all run to your dad. And then the Nell's son said, you know, he doesn't run to his dad, but he also doesn't really call his mom anymore. And Nell's like, yeah, you don't call me. And he says, well, it's because of the dog. So apparently the son went to jail.
He went to jail.
And the dog, they had to go get the dog. And then they ended up having to take the dog to the vet. They paid like over $3,000 something for the dog. Then they had to bail him out of jail, which was over $6,000. And they said, you're not getting this dog back until you pay us back.
That's fair to me. It's our dog now.
Yeah, so that's why he don't be calling his mom like that, because she got his dog held hostage. Okay. So Nell gets to hollering because she's over here trying to talk to her son, and then the daughter is chiming in, and she's like, would you just shut the hell up?
Alexis. Her name Alexis, yeah.
Hell up, Alexis. And I wasn't mad at that because I'm trying to talk to him. What is all this chirping you doing? So
we don't even hear you. Listen here.
Yeah.
That already lets me know that Alexis, you may be the middle child or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you caught a stray that was, matter of fact, not even a stray. That you should have shut the hell up, because I don't even know what you were saying.
Did you? Okay, maybe I should bring that up. I was gonna say, did you see the clip of the Braxtons when Evelyn was talking to Tamar?
Yeah.
And then she told Trina, shut it. Yeah, anyway, that's what it reminded me of.
Okay. Right. My thing is, I can kind of already tell what type of mom Nell is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You look across the room and across the children. And then you got one of them that went to jail. You got the niece who was basically raised as her own and things like that, who can't keep a job. It kind of gives off the, spoiled type of kids. Okay. Like, the parents is well off. If something happens to where, let's say something happens to you, like you get arrested, somebody come take care of your dog. You get what I'm saying? Like that's like, that don't normally happens. You get what I'm saying? If something happens to you and nobody take care of the dog, they take the dog.
Yeah.
But I think because they look like sheltered kids. So whenever sheltered kids come around, you usually see them. They look totally different from the parents. They look like they have different morals than the parents. Tattoos, jail, ethics, and things like that. You got one trying to talk over the mom and things like that. It's just chaos.
Yeah.
What did you think about that scene?
I thought it was a funny scene.
I thought it was a great scene.
And I was like, I want more of this. I want to see their family dynamics play out. I want to see all of this stuff with the Fletchers.
100%.
I was like, this is good stuff.
100%. Yeah. Listen here. Carlos, I know you're watching. I know you're a big fan, right? Look, everybody on this show have children.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody on this show have children. And I wish we was to see more family interactions like we saw with this scene with Nell and Chris, with their family and things like that. Besides, like, you know, besides the scenes where, you know, it's gossip, these little comeback meetings that never come to anything.
And then all these, like, meetings about rehashing, like, stuff that's already happened. Exactly. Did you hear about the cookout? Well, what did you think about the cookout?
This was
it's like, let's move the story along.
Yes. This was a breath of fresh air right here. I'm like, oh, this is where you put to be continued. I will continue next week and things like that. I love that scene because it actually showed, like, look, it kind of reminded me of my family. Not in the sense of, like, the mother hollering, but it's the different dynamics. It's just something as little as the mother just telling everybody the business out loud. So, like, I heard, so, like, you know, you got fired. Have, like, you got another job? I'm like, what, you ain't pull me to the side? You know what I mean? Because
I take care of all of y'all. All y'all got issues.
Exactly. And
thanks, Ma.
Because to her, she's like, this is family.
Yeah.
You want to see how we interact with our family? This is how they come over for dinner. Listen here. Now I kind of see why. I'm putting my own spice on it. Okay. Now I see why they are out the house, though.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, once you're grown and they're old enough, I can already tell there's no living with me.
Yeah.
We already took your dog in. We ain't taking you in. You get what I'm saying? You have your own issues. You can't keep a job. You can't live here. You know what I mean? You got the one over here that feel entitled to talk over the mother. You definitely can't live here because you will make me die early. So it's just all these things. And guess what? I'm sitting there watching, and I am very interested in this storyline. I wish we can see more behind the scenes or more scenes with these people interacting with their families. Marcel got kids. Tisha got kids. Maurice and Monster, we did see that.
Yeah, we saw that in depth.
We did see that. Jalen and Kimmie and things like that. Yeah. Like I wish we could see that. I think Mel's kids are a little too young.
They're younger. Yeah. And so is Tisha's kids. They're too young, really.
But we did see them, but they are CEOs.
Yeah, they was working.
Yeah, you see, so look, they're not too young. This was a breath of fresh air to see how Black family interact. And then we see even in the previews, I usually don't talk about the previews, but it was just so good about something, you know, I guess Alexis finally get her issues off. She cussing in front of her mama and her daddy. I guess that's just how they was raised, you know. And then they get in some argument between the father and her. And he said,
they in the car.
And he said, you know what? Get the hell on. Get on out of here. I'm like,
you disrupted our peace. All right,
I like this.
Go back from where you came. And they had the little white boyfriend. He looked like he was comfortable though.
Husband.
Yeah. So he looked like he was comfortable. He like, this is just another day at the Fletchers.
Yes. That's what I like to see. Yeah. I like to see fathers telling their daughter, get the hell on. You get up out of here. You ain't talking about nothing. Get on out of here. So look, great episode. Carlos King, take my advice. I know you're gonna implement it. You gonna do your thing. You know.
It's not like this is recorded and edited before. No.
Right. I know he go watch this and he go be like, you know what, that's a good idea.
Okay.
And next episode he go re-edit and things like that. Anything else on this episode you want to share? Anything you want to get off your chest, your mind? Anything?
I enjoyed it. Yeah. I even enjoyed Mel's like ceremony. I thought that was interesting to watch.
Interesting.
But, yeah. But I really enjoyed the Fletchers, dinner with the Fletchers.
Yes.
I'm like, let's get more dinner with the Fletchers.
More dinner with the Fletchers, please. Yes. More dinner with the Fletchers. Anything else?
That's all.
Y'all be good.
Bye.